All right, Faye. Ooh, it's cold. Facebook. Guys, namaste. God bless. How are all of you? Happy Monday on this friggin' cold night, man. I do. It's National DJ Day. So it's for you guys who spin and go out there and make people happy, which is what I'm going to talk about tonight. Kudos to you. I grew up in the DJ booth. Basically, they're in the 80s, man. And music is powerful. I mean, if that shit can give you the goosebumps, if a song that you're listening to can really wake you up like that, you've hit a high note on that one here. But before I came on, I love how things find me. The universe is friggin' awesome. Before I came on, I was doing my stuff, rested a little bit, got up, walked out, and I saw Victoria sitting at the bar. We got a bar here, not a physical bar with liquor, but a bar where we eat. There you go. We have it in a great place where we can chill with TV or just do whatever we want to do. I go out there. She's wearing a coat. I'm like, "What are you doing, meatball?" She goes, "I'm cold." And I look in front of her. I see this big cup filled, it literally filled up. And I said, "Oh, hot chocolate." She goes, "No, ice cream." I said, "You wonder why you're cold. It's 15 degrees out and you're jacking on ice cream." But it made me think for a second here. She was exhibiting something that we all do. We all want to create things that make us feel better. And I know her, obviously, since day one, and ice cream has been her forte. That makes her feel good. Doesn't matter if she's 30 years old. She don't give a shit. It makes her feel good. She might freeze, but it makes her feel good. That's a great topic because Einstein was telling us that many moons ago about the fact of how powerful our thoughts are, and most importantly, repetitious thoughts. And he noted and quoted, "We cannot solve problems with the kind of thinking we employ when we come up with them." That triggered a whole host. I've had that for days. That triggered a whole host of thoughts. But what, think about this. 50 years ago, there was a company that wanted to completely screw up, literally, an Italian delicacy and introduce it to America on a mass scale. Well, what I mean is, this Italian delicacy was this is back in the Roman Empire when this shit was made, but it was made with cured meat, the pure part of the meat, with salt, pistachios, and olives added to it. This company said, "Wait, we don't want to throw away the byproducts of the meat. So what we're going to do is we're going to mash it all together, turn it into like a foamy liquid, stick it in the casing, cook it, and add some spices, make it a little, jack it up a little bit. And then we're going to stick a kid with a fishing pole sitting by a lake reciting. And it's going to sell millions and millions and make us billions of dollars." Well, what that company did was created an amazing anchor that I wanted to share with you guys that we all do, and it relates to Tori's situation out there as well. Anchors are powerful, and I don't talk enough about this on America's Mentor because anchors are triggered by the five senses. What you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. So whatever you surround yourself with, no matter where it is, you could be cold as shit, but the taste of ice cream makes you feel good. This is what I'm getting at. The taste of ice cream makes you feel good. You're going to do it. And that's the whole point of America's Mentor, is only doing what you love, is finding your peace. And anchor is mentioned in Scripture a lot as well. It's about faith, hope, and the present, about living in the present. And what this company did, to get back to my story, was they took this Roman delicacy, they took it and they stuck a kid on a dock with a fishing pole. They said, "Fine, how do we help sell the byproducts, the heart, lungs, that kind of delicious kind of stuff, the part of the beef that we don't never see, just kind of mash it up, make it to a liquid, recook it, and guess what? We have bologna. My bologna has a first name. It's O-C-A-R. My bologna has a second name. It's M-A-Y-E-R. Oh, I'd love to eat it every day. But if you ask me what I'll say, because Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A. Now, what I just exhibited was a jingle, a classic. that I remember as a kid to go out and buy this shit, put mustard on it, and say, wow, this is delicious, because they anchored me to this wholesome Americana life. And that iconic commercial started the trend many moons ago to basically give you stuff that will eventually, kill you from the inside out, like cigarettes and, Bush beer back then. This is what they do. What I'm telling you is that Anchors in Life is a psychological tool to get you where you want to go. But you have to keep doing it. A lot of us do it every day. The minute you flip on the switch of your radio in your car, this is why I had to change it, because I was getting crazy. The minute you flip on the switch of your favorite radio station, all you're going to hear is music. Dumb answer there, Jer. But what you're hearing, and most likely are going to hear, are anchors. And anchors are going to bring up past memories, because the subconscious, that doesn't forget anything, man. It puts that shit in the storehouse. So whatever powerful thing that has happened to you, good and or bad, and that song is related to it, is going to put you in that kind of what state of mind. So if you're playing songs that think of an ex or an issue in your life, and you hear that going to work, guess what kind of day you're going to have? And you don't even realize it, because anchors are that powerful. I'm going to read you the psychology version, as the psychologists say, with anchors. And it's something you guys really have to grasp for yourself, because we don't even realize we're being anchored every day with our thoughts and our feelings by what we surround ourselves with. That's a great point that I want to bring up. What I surround myself with is exactly what I want to create, which is peace. No matter what I do in life. Yeah, I got to experience work every day, but indeed, I want to make sure that I surround myself with it as much as I can, because what you surround yourself with, you become. What you become, you anchor. You anchor into your life. And it's amazing, because a lot of the shipwrecks that they find, the only thing they find is a little part of the hole in what? The anchor. It was made to be virtually indestructible. An anchor is virtually indestructible, but it's programmable. This is what you guys got to realize. So if you hear a song and it's not conducive to where you want to go and it doesn't make you feel right, what are you listening to it for? This is what I'm saying. We kill ourselves mentally by putting ourselves in the state of mind that we're trying to avoid just by what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. You get away from those triggers, which opens up the anchor of thought, which brings back the memories that drives you nuck and fuss. You're going to change your life for the better, but you have to get away from it. And here's a psychological term. An anchor is a cognitive bias that describes a common human tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information offered. And what they're saying is, you've taken a perspective on what has happened to you and related that in some way to a sight, a sound, a hear, a taste, or a touch. So whenever you like for instance here, don't hate me because I'm beautiful, but I live near New Haven, and the minute you walk into New Haven Avis, you get that certain smell. You know exactly where you are. Now walk down the street to a Domino's, you know exactly where you are. That's what I'm talking about as far as anchor goes, and it's so important every day for you guys to realize that if you want to transform, you got to transform yourself from the inside out. In other words, how you're programmed. Anchoring is a huge tool, and they have it in a spiritual sense as far as the anchoring goes. Anchor in life is finding our focus, establishing our values, and planting ourselves firmly in the present moment. A lot of us forget about the present moment. We're always thinking ahead or we're thinking behind. This is the biggest pain in the ass that I've always had to deal with, because I'm a planner. I'm trying to plan the next step, but I forget where I'm living. And it's been a great lesson for me for many, many moons to realize that I have the power to create right now in the present moment. That's where I'm going to try to stay. And that's my gift to you guys. Understanding what's triggering your feelings. Because how you feel, you magnetize. So if you're anchored in relationships that you always get hurt, no matter who you meet, you're going to bring the last one and the last one before that and the last one before that. And if you're really good, many moons after that to the next one, because you're anchored with the feelings, and you're going to hear the songs and the sights and the smells and the taste to trigger up all those back there instead of the present moment right here. A lot of us fail to realize that we're in a shitty mood because we heard something, we felt something, we smelled something, we tasted something that brought up an old anchor that our subconscious mind never forgets. So how do you change it? You change your life in every aspect to create new anchors. And you get past like what Tori was doing before. She didn't care if she was cold. She wanted to feel good. What does she make? She gets some ice cream. And it's funny because the other day, I think I mentioned it on the last show, she had a troubling day at work, which is fine. And she gets back here, she walks right to her room and grabs her piggies and starts walking around with them because it makes her feel good. You guys got to realize that for yourself. Do only and whatever makes you feel good. And out of the quote box tonight, there is no going back unless you choose to. I almost forgot that. I don't shut the hell up, man. That's a good anchor I have. But think about that. There is no going back. And that's the choice I made for myself. And hopefully you guys can do it for yourself. By living in the present moment, you're only creating anchors to match the present moment. Therefore, you're creating the feelings for it. Therefore, you're magnetizing that. You start magnetizing the present moment and the person that you've always wanted to be, and you keep practicing that, you're creating a whole new set of neurons. You're creating all kinds of new paths in your brain to create, because the brain is malleable. It's not stuck in the same way. The subconscious mind, indeed, is a storehouse, but the brain itself is malleable to fit the narrative that you're following every day. That's what they're saying about anchors, is that you've chosen a state, like, for instance, Democrat and Republican. You've chosen the left or you've chosen the right. It's your perspective. Instead of like I do, I walk down the middle. I listen to both sides. Anytime I feel something powerful, I always choose both sides. And I look at them. I say, wait, what's better here and what's better there? Maybe it's a little bit of overthinking. I don't know. But it's given me a lot of peace, and it's created better anchors. When you become better at understanding yourself, your life can only become better as a result of that. It's understanding these deep, deep, powerful breadcrumbs. Understanding who you are as a person can only bring you more of that. If you're only bringing bad into your life, what are you anchored to? Money is a huge thing. I mean, with me, anchors, this is why I started to listen and understanding anchors more. You know, growing up, what are you, stupid? We'll never have that. We don't have enough money. There's never enough money. All these phrases get ingrained in your subconscious mind. So what happened to me later on in life? I had no money. And guess what? I was acting really stupid. They never go away, but they can be reprogrammed. And this is this is the part of being big people. It's you understanding what you're attracting. And really think about that for yourself. If you really want to transform, I understand everybody's busy, but it's just, just your life that we're worried about here and your well-being. So how you're being will determine what you're bringing. You gotta grasp that, because anchoring is a powerful set of metaphysical feelings that you're bringing out every day. And the universe can only respond. The universe is not biased. It's great. The universe is not biased. Neither is the quote that I mentioned on that. It only gives you what you give it. So if you're not getting what you want, what are you anchored to? If you're anchored to the fact that you'll never have enough, all the universe can say is, okay. It's like a Xerox copy machine. It's just going to keep bringing you that same kind of narrative in your life. So all I'm saying with these little shows like this is to understand all these little powerful components that we're endowed with, every single one of us is endowed with, to create, have, be, or do whatever we desire, but you got to understand how to use it. And anchoring, to me, is you can do it, you can do your research on it, but to me, the fact of the matter, I generalize it just by bringing a life full of peace, because a life full of peace opens your mind to clarity, to think about what you want to have, be, and do, and create the feelings behind it, so it becomes a natural state of mind. It's really something for you guys. Hopefully it's something for you guys to grasp onto, because if you do your research and anchoring on how it affects us just by our five senses alone, it's a natural state that we carry around with the five senses, but what's installed in those five senses will determine your mood. how your mood goes is how you're going to feel. How you feel is what you're going to attract. So if you're having a bad day, what have you started the process with? And then change that. Change it to something that only makes you feel good, because from that you attract what you are, and you start bringing to you what you are, and you start being what you are. Guys, think about it for yourself, guys. So happy Monday to you, America's Mentor _radio on Instagram, at America's Mentor on X, guys. Please follow me on YouTube. Much love to you guys for the Jackson views on YouTube, at America's Mentor on YouTube, guys. Please follow me, Jerry Maldonado, too, for unique information to help you to your destination. I'll read Einstein's quote one more time for you. We cannot solve problems with the kind of thinking we've employed when we come up with them. So what an anchor is a repetitive thought in any form that you've chosen a side of, and that's bringing you the result from it. If you don't like the results, change the anchor. Guys, happy Monday to you. Stay warm and eat ice cream like Tori did, man. It made her feel good. I'll talk to you guys soon, man.